I thought I'd give you just a quick walkthrough of Storm, just to make it easier to showcase what the capabilities are. As the document says, which I'll share a link to just below this video section, this is an LLM system that writes Wikipedia-like articles from scratch based on internet search. So let's take a quick look at the platform itself. So when you log in, which you can do with your Google single sign-on, you're presented with this create a new article page, and then it'll ask you a couple of additional questions, and then it goes through a reasonably long process of reviewing what looks to be hundreds of different sources that the Stanford tool has available to it. Now, I'm not going to go through that because it just takes a little bit of time, but I'm going to show you one I did just the other day for some other work I'm doing. So this is the output from a search that I did about the impact of demographic shifts in the US and UK on education in the next 10 years. You can see the table of contents on the left-hand side, how broad and how much focus there is kind of across this problem. When you read through the documentation, it's actually really nicely referenced, some really good quality to at least get you going, and then to be able to dive deeper, if not draw some really nice conclusions. Now, one thing I do like is to be able to see this brainstorming process. There's some interesting things that happen seemingly during the process. And at the top, you can see a demographic analyst, a policymaker, an educator advocate, and a basic fact writer. Now, what seems to have happened is based on my prompt, some agents have been assigned or maybe even created in real time to carry out certain tasks. And then in a similar way to some of the reasoning processes are happening, I believe, behind the scenes from a GPT-o1 point of view, the agents are handing off tasks to one another. So it's kind of like a self-prompting and referring process to build up context and then answer a particular question. And so as you flick through some of the detail here, you can see what the agents have done as they've handed off the work to one another and in the end produced a really nice document. Again, it takes a couple of minutes or so to get here, and that just shows that it's going through this kind of broader process rather than a zero shot or a one shot kind of a prompting technique. So very interesting. Give it a try.